I feel like I abandoned Microsoft Azure Storage training. But no, guys, especially who is actually following Microsoft Azure Storage and their domain is actually the storage, then I think these videos are really helpful for them, especially in terms of when they are managing Microsoft Azure Storage within their organization. We have learned lots of topics here, like what is storage replication type, what kind of Microsoft Azure storage available for us, how we can use them, how we can configure them. We have all sort of information which is actually going to be help us when we trying to deploy that in the real-time world, or especially for our organization people. In today's video, we will more focus on how to create a storage account. Although I know most of you are already aware that how we can create a storage account, but I have never touched anything like to create Microsoft Azure storage account using PowerShell or Microsoft Azure CLI. Hello guys, my name is Harshangra, and in this video we will more focus on how we actually create Microsoft storage account using Azure Portal, although we know, but we will talk about more on the options available during the creation, and also the very easiest way to create our Microsoft Azure storage account using PowerShell and Azure CLI, because most of you as an administrator are looking for that what are the ways we can create, or at least I can say the quickest way to create Microsoft Azure storage account in terms of if we have to create many storage account at the same time. So I think this video is gonna really helpful in that scenario. Apart from that, Microsoft Azure storage account is a very integral part of creating or managing other kind of storages like queue storage, table storage, blob storage, or Azure Files. If you like to configure any of these Microsoft Azure storages, then obviously the very first step is to create Microsoft storage account. And I'm pretty much sure that you guys are very much aware. And obviously, because we have done in all previous videos, we have created first a storage account and then start configuring all those options. Also, guys, if you are following my other videos like Microsoft AZ900 in a very recent video, I have already shared with you step-by-step instructions, and although I have covered lots of things about Microsoft Azure storage account creation, I mean all sort of options we have, but traditionally we are following Microsoft Azure storage videos separately apart from AZ900 and AZ104. So it is my responsibility to share with you in a practical manner as well. And obviously, as I said, I have never even explained you in AZ900 video that how we can create Microsoft storage account using PowerShell and Azure CLI. So guys, let's do the practical. At least we can learn one more time how to create a storage account from Azure Portal and from PowerShell and Azure CLI. And don't worry, this video is gonna be very quick and I'm sure you're going to learn a lot in here. So let's begin. In this first step, we are going to create Microsoft Azure storage account using Microsoft Azure Portal, which means we are going to use UI based structure to create storage accounts, which is a very simple step, and I'm sure you have done lots of time till date. But today we are going to talk about all the options during the creation of Microsoft Azure storage accounts, and also I will explain you that how you can use those options which is available to do more with your storage account. So guys, basically we have two kind of storage account options available in Microsoft Azure. One is a classic storage account which actually supports older way of creating your resources, or at least using your resources to use older storage options within Microsoft Azure. But if you talk about the latest options, then I think you should choose storage account, I must say Gen 2. I'm not sure whether this is the right word, but yeah, this is the newest way to create your storage account. To show you where you can find your storage account options like Gen 1 or Gen 2, or at least classic and the newest ARM based storage account. So for that, you have to just go to your search bar and type storage account. So here you can find storage account classic, which is, as I said, the older way to create your storage account, and we can use only this option in case if you are running the older resources within your Microsoft Azure. Older means which are not based on ARM based, which is Azure Resource Manager. So for those kind of resources, if you need to create a storage account, the classic one would be the right one for you. But if you are creating any of your latest or newest resources in Microsoft Azure, all those resources required the latest ARM based storage account. So for that, we are going to use the very first option called storage account right here. Just storage account without classic right after that. All right. So just to give you a glimpse, because it is very important, sometime you guys will be confused when you're trying to handle your storage account. So don't forget, storage account classic is used for older storage resources which are currently not in use, most of them, but still if any of the services are trying to use storage account classic one, then yeah, you have that option to create. But just remember one thing, if you know how to create a storage account in the latest ARM based storage account options, the similar way you can also do it in the storage account classic. So no confusion here. So start with the ARM based, which is the latest one. So I click on storage accounts. As soon as you click, you can find we have already one of the storage account available, and this is actually storage account version 2, which is the latest version. And here you can see that it is created for PowerShell storage South Asia. Actually, what is this? This storage account is created for here. If you go up here, when we click PowerShell, so this storage account is created only for this one, right? Although we will talk about this in a while, but right now I'm not going to talk much more about this, but just to show you that as soon as you hit Azure Cloud, PowerShell, it will automatically create a storage account, which is right here created under storage account options. However, we would like to create a new one. So just click add. And as soon as you click add, it will start with this option. So start with subscription. So obviously you can choose the right subscription. It is all up to you. How do you want to proceed? But just make sure whether you have created a new or existing resource group, it is all up to you. So as I can see here, if I choose the first subscription, I already have HVM resource group. So if you like to create a new one, just create a new one. Otherwise, this is absolutely fine. All right. Now, give the name of storage account name. Now, remember one thing, guys, this name should be unique. This name is going to be used after you create a storage account. Don't worry. Before I leave a session for today, I will show you what is my meaning here. So just make sure your storage account name must be unique. So here I give the name Harsh Arena Portal. And just make sure, trying to give any name you like, but just make sure it would be small character or it's in capital. It doesn't matter, because when you create a normal blob storage and all that, it always required a small character, but here doesn't matter. However, this has been done. And just for your information, guys, this HVM, I actually resource group created under East US 2. But it is up to you which region you would like to select here, because it doesn't matter that where is your region. If you talk about storage account name, but it doesn't also matter whether your resource group is in the same region or in another region. So as a practice, I'm going to choose the same region, but remember, you can choose any other region you like, because in East US 2, I can find most of features available. That's the reason I choose this option. This region here. Now, go to the next option, which is based on performance. Obviously, this performance is storage performance. So storage performance is based on 2 drives. One is HDD, which is a standard hard disk drives, and it is based on SATA, SATA, and which is most commonly used by everyone in the world. Why? Because it gives us support options called general purpose V2 account, and I have already expressed and shared the detail that general purpose V2 is the most updated storage account option available we have. And make sure if you follow this specific account, that means you are getting up-to-date features from Microsoft Azure. However, before to move forward with the standard one, if I choose premium, you can see the option has been changed here, because as soon as I choose premium, that means we talk about SSD, right? Solid state drive. And here in the premium storage account, what kind of storage you can create? One, you can create blobs, best for high transaction rates, as I already explained you in the past, and it is already mentioned here. File shares, yeah, in case you have lots of people like to use central database or file shares, database in the sense file shares, where people can just put their files into one place and everybody can have access, and everybody wants really a good performance out of there. So file shares with the premium account, or premium storage, would be the right option for you. And the third one we have is called page blob, that is for random read and write operation. Obviously, you are not sure right now that how you like to use your storage account, and you have some files available that you like to use for updated, or like you want to just edit them directly in the storage and in a best practices or the best performance if you need out of them. So page blobs is a right option in general for you. Although I also expressed why we use page blobs, so I highly recommend you to watch my previous video under Microsoft Azure Storage. So here it is the only option. Now you also can see redundancy, which is locally based. So only you will get the cheapest one, which is called locally redundant storage. So as I already expressed and told you in the past, that if you choose locally redundant storage, it means you are copying your data within the same data center, but in different storage units or different storage servers, but it is in the same data center. If anything goes wrong to the data center, you do not have any redundant options right there. So in some cases, obviously it's very rare happen, but yeah, I really doubt if we choose local redundant storage. But yeah, it is good for one purpose. It costs you really low as compared to ZRS and GRS. So I will show you what my meaning there. So if you choose standard, you will have a couple of options. So obviously you can choose right now standard, general purpose V2, which is fine for us at the moment. You can choose locally redundant storage. Obviously, geo-redundant storage, I told you, you can actually, Microsoft does copy your data to another region for your safety purpose. So in case your primary region data center is down, or primary region is down, so you are still able to recover your data from another region. So that's the beauty of geo-redundant storage options or storage application type. The third one is called zone redundant storage. It means that you are copying your data into the same region, but in 3 different availability zone or availability groups. So it means if any one of the data center which has a separate storage unit, separate network infrastructure, separate power supply, so it can still able to recover your data from another availability zone which has separate storage, separate network access, and separate power supply. So similarly, as geo zone redundant storage, so it means that it will copy your data to another region, including another zone. Just like zone redundant storage, we have options, availability zones. Similarly, in other region, we are also going to use availability zones there. But it's a really great way to protect your data. So it's up to you, how do you like to proceed. But if you choose geo zone redundant storage, it is going to cost you a lot as compared to locally redundant storage. So as a practice, LRS would be fine, but I highly recommend you to choose GRS, which is going to be really good in terms of disaster recovery. All right, so next go to advanced option. So we have a couple of options right there. Enable secure transfer. So actually guys, if you choose this option, which is by default available, which means we really want to force our storage to use HTTPS or secure way to communicate with our storage. I think you probably heard lots of people that, hey, your data has been could be hijacked, or some celebrity would like to access their website, and sometime they are not protected with secure socket layer or SSL. So it could be a data breach option sometime. And also you heard about SQL injection, because some people like to inject HTTP protocol where they can find the username and the passwords. That's how data breach could happen. Although nowadays, based on new techniques, some people also can breach your HTTPS. But again, they really need to do hard work on that, and they need to make sure they can find some loophole or some kind of code issue during the deployment. But right now, this Microsoft storage has been maintained by Microsoft, and as I told you earlier and in our previous other videos as well, that Microsoft spends approximate $1 billion. So it's very, very hard, or I can say, or I could possibly say, it's quite impossible to hack or hijack your session during your storage being accessed by other user or by other services or application, whatever you are using. So yeah, enable secure transfer could be one option or good option for you. Enable infrastructure encryption. I highly recommend every one of you to enable this. Although I have explained this in AZ900, my last video, but just to give you a quick glimpse, that if you enable this, because by default Microsoft also enable encryption based on service level, which is a by default AES 256-bit of encryption. But again, as soon as your data reach to Microsoft storage based on infrastructure key, they also applied another layer of encryption, which is kind of you are applying double encryption on your data, and obviously it is highly secure, and people or hackers could not have any way to access those files straight if it is saved in your Microsoft storage. So it is really a great advantage, and as I said, make sure you enable this option. But again, it's up to your choice whether you want to enable, because in case you like to use any application and you only like to use your service-based encryption, then yeah, it is your choice. It's up to you. The third option we have is enable blob public access. Obviously, that's how we like to use blob storage. So it is absolutely fine, because we want to access our blob storage from public access, which is pretty simple, not at all a difficult task. Another one we have is storage account key access. Now, this is also very important, because key access I will show you in AZ900 or AZ104 certification, but it's not a part of Microsoft Azure Storage at the moment, but it is a good idea to always enable it. Just remember this. And the TLS transport layer security version, which version you like to choose? Obviously, Microsoft or we all recommend to choose the most recent version or latest version, that is 1.2 in your application. So it is highly recommended to choose this one. But in case your application is based on 1.0 or 1.1, so yeah, it is up to you how do you like to move forward. The next one we have is Data Lake Storage Gen 2. So guys, this is a very, very important point, and yeah, whether you want to enable it or not, it's all up to you. So guys, a Data Lake Storage Gen 2 is a great way to analyze huge amount of data. Let's say you have petabyte of data or zettabyte of data, means huge amount of data, and you all store that gigabyte or terabyte or petabyte directly in your Microsoft Azure Blob Storage. So Data Lake Storage Gen 2 can help you to analyze all the files you have uploaded in Microsoft Azure Blobs. It can also help on data analytics in case you like to review what kind of data you have and you want to see what is exactly the structure being added into Azure Blob Storage. So it can enable hierarchical namespace, which is really a great way. And I can give you a quick example here. Let's say you have uploaded one folder called A name, and after that, inside that folder we have another folder called B, then another folder under B is C. Similarly, it goes beyond, let's say, up to H. So Data Lake Storage Gen 2 can actually review all those data for you and make a structured based analytics for you, so that it could be easy in case you like to find out what data you are looking for. And especially it can also help to interact with all the data stored into Microsoft Azure Blob Storage, because guys, Azure Blob Storage does not understand what kind of file types or any kind of files you have uploaded, it does not know anything. It just know 0 and 1 or binary language. So to enable this feature, it means you are helping Azure Blob Storage to do more for you. It can also help you to improve the performance because, as I said, based on Data Lake Storage Gen 2 feature, it can help you to identify where is your actual file located, because it knows all that hierarchical structure for you, and it is very easy for you to find it. Also, Data Lake Gen 2 can help you to increase security there, and also obviously, as I said, the performance is another or third options or third advantage of using this. So yeah, as I said, it would be really helpful for you. But right now, that to be all you need to understand about Data Lake Storage Gen 2. So right now, yeah, Blob Storage enable network file share version 3. Currently, we cannot enable, so it's fine with us. Access tier, we have only 2 available, hot and cool. So guys, hot and cool means if you like to use frequently your data, and I mean 24/7, any seconds, or all of your users like to use your data or the data stored in Azure Blob all the time, I think hot storage would be the right option for you. But cool, it's like infrequently, you like to use some time, or like 10 times, 100 times, 200 times in a week, not 100 times in a day, then I think cool is the right option for you, because it can help you in the backup scenario, as well as it can cost you a little bit extra as compared to hot, because hot can allow you to access your data all the time and have all the features. But again, it's up to you. How do you want to move forward? But there's one more called archive access tier, which is right now not available. That can be enabled as soon as we create Azure Blob under this storage account. Then you can have that option. Azure Files enable large file shares, which is currently not available. It is absolutely fine. Table queues, because large files means if you like to store, let's say 1 GB, 2 GB or 10 GB file, single file, then Azure Files allows you to store that file. But as soon as if you like to check, so you can follow the SMB protocol, which has a very limitation like 100 MB or 200 MB. It depends on how you actually configure your Azure Files. So that is a maximum limit of your files can be saved into Azure File. But again, you can disable this later on. But yeah, as soon as I disable this, or let's say I enable infrastructure this, so it can allow you to choose this option. Up to you, how do you want to configure? So anyway, I'm going to follow the same standard. Tables and queues, guys, it is really important. Again, I already explained, if you like to enable support for customer managed keys, which means Microsoft also provides system managed keys to encrypt or decrypt your data. But again, if you are running a certificate server or certificate authority servers, then you can generate your keys and use those customer generated keys to access your table and queue storage. So if you like to enable it, just enable this feature. But remember, you cannot disable it if you enable these infrastructure encryption and table and queues right here. The third option we have is called networking, guys. So connectivity method is a public enabled or public endpoint, which means your users can access your storage from anywhere, all kind of network. Otherwise, you can select the specific one. Let's say if I created a virtual network, only these virtual network can access your Microsoft storage, although it is also on a public endpoint. But here it doesn't matter which networks you are using, your home network, your work network, outside public network, wherever you are able to access your storage. That's the option. But private endpoint, very selective option. You can choose that this IP address, this region, or this target can be accessed, or this subnet mask or this subnets only able to access your storage. So you can enable those options right from here. Network routing, it's currently choose Microsoft network routing. Otherwise, you can also choose internet routing, which is up to you. But I strongly believe in Microsoft network routing, because this can also help on other services like Microsoft, Network Watcher, so which can help us to watch what exactly going on our storage. You can review every single access of your data. It can also help in security advisor if unknown people like to access your storage. So I still believe that Microsoft network storage or routing would be the strongest option here. But this is the quickest way I can express the difference between Microsoft network routing or internet routing. But right now, you just believe Microsoft routing, network routing would be the right option for you. Next, if you go in the data protection, so guys, enable soft delete for containers or file shares is a great way to protect your Azure files and your containers, because it's actually working like a SharePoint. If you already know, in Office 365 we have a SharePoint document libraries, so Microsoft choose this option from there, guys. Because I would like to share a quick story here, because I worked in disaster recovery team in Microsoft, and we have actually suggested storage team to enable soft delete option, because sometime people delete some of the files, and as a part of a disaster recovery team, we do not have any way to back up the storage account. So people can directly restore their file if it has been accidentally deleted. Otherwise, it can be automatically deleted after 7 days. Let's take an example. I choose here 90 days. So your files is going to be stored for 90 days. I mean, your container deleted container stored for 90 days. After 90 days, it's going to be permanently deleted. So it's all up to you. How do you like to move forward here? So I think you get the overall experience, right? So tags, pretty simple. You like to assign any tag if you like to calculate how much it is going to be. I mean, in terms of storage, in terms of money is going to be used by this storage account. In the end, just click on review and create. So these all options are available here. So as soon as we can have option called create, it start creating our storage account. So guys, this is the most easiest way to create your storage account. But again, as you can see, we have to choose lots of options, right? So if you like to manage all those things, you can just follow the Azure Portal way to create your storage account. And as I said, it's going to be very much easy for you, and obviously all the option right in front of you, which one you like to choose, which one you don't want to choose. And one last time, you can also choose this option after creation of your storage account. So guys, I'm going to just wait to create the storage account, and as soon as we are completed with this, let me come back and just show you from where you can change or update your settings if you like to do after deployment of your Azure storage account from Azure Portal. Or okay, while I was about to pause this video, the deployment has been completed successfully, guys. So let me just go to resource. As soon as you go to resource, here in under overview, you can have all under the properties, you have all the option whether you want to enable it or disable it. As you can see, Blob soft delete is disabled. Just click disabled, and here you can have option called whether it is enabled or disabled. It's right now enabled, so it's fine, no problem. Let me just go back under storage, right under overview. All right, it's enabled, not disabled. So again, we have versioning. If I click disabled, whether we have this, it's also been the same option available. It's absolutely fine. So I think you get my point. You can enable or disable this option from here, and it's pretty easy. And what else we can have here? But I think it's fine, because we just need to understand here how we can create storage account, and I think you understood very well, right? So let's move forward and try to also learn from PowerShell and Azure CLI way. So now finally we are going to learn that how we can create storage account using PowerShell and Azure CLI. As I said, it is very simple. There are few commands we just need to follow, and we can create easily these storage accounts. And I'm going to show you this only for Microsoft Azure administrators, because they definitely would like to know that how to create using a PowerShell or Azure CLI, because most of them, they like to use scripts, and these commands can be used into those scripts. So guys, right now I'm going to choose Azure Cloud Shell. So I'm going to click on Azure Cloud Shell, and here I'm going to maximize this a little bit so that you can learn from easily, from the big screen. So we are here, and I highly recommend of you to just write down these commands one by one or step by step with me. Although I'm going to upload these commands into the drive there, Google Drive there, so that you can simply download the script and learn how you can create a storage account from PowerShell or Azure CLI. So let's start with the very first one. So how we can create from PowerShell. So it's a new Azure Storage, obviously, then account. Once you type this, or I am using tab to complete this command. So type new dash Azure storage account, and then after that, name of the storage account. So I'm going to type Harsh Arena PowerShell. You give any name you like, it's fine. And then how to create? Obviously, you have to choose resource group, not resource group name. Just type resource group HVM, because this is the name of the resource group we have created. And if you do not have created, guys, create a resource group first and then type this command. And then after that we have SKU name, because guys, SKU name is very important. Here you have to choose replication type, whether you want to choose LRS or you want to choose ZRS. It's all up to you. So let's take an example. I like to choose for this PowerShell storage account, I like to choose ZRS. It's up to you whether which one you like to choose, and where's the location, which location you like to create this storage account. So I'm going to create East US 2. This is the location. And the final one, it's kind. What kind of storage account you're going to create? So obviously it is gonna be, sorry, I told you I'm very bad in typing. So it's a kind storage v2. We are going to create a storage v2 here. So guys, this command has been completed successfully. If everything is fine, let's press enter and wait for this to complete. If this has been completed, and you can see that it will automatically add a new storage account. Is that simple? Just this command, and it can help you to create your storage account instead of following those step-by-step information in Azure Portal. Yes, I agree. I agree that we can have more options. You can definitely go to Microsoft Azure storage account PowerShell, and there you can find out more lines. I mean, for example, access tier. You can type access tier hot, cold, all these information. But as you can see, it has been successfully created. Another way, you can also refresh the page here and you can find out whether the new has been created or not. Not at the moment, just give some time. Or you can also find out from a command called get. Oh, sorry, you need to type get az. Oh, it's actually typing up. Let me type again, get az storage account. When you press enter, it can show you all all sort of kind of storage account has been created in a recent time. So this is how you can find out from command line. Just type get dash az storage account, because guys, it is actually written up. It is a problem of this, Cloud Shell, so sometime it happened. So I think you get my point. So this is from PowerShell, and let's try to create the same storage account from Azure CLI, which is again very, very easy. You won't find any difficult step in that. So just type az, and then obviously we are going to create storage. Guys, this is gonna be very confusing for you. So let me just close and start again, because I don't want you to confuse in creating the storage account using PowerShell, because what is happening right now, it start typing up. Anyway, so let me just wait for this session to complete and then we can start. Okay, so type Azure Storage. So guys, if I think we had to write down, it's not going to recognize automatically. So we are going to create this one. And why we are going to use this command? Just to create our storage account. So first thing, we need to start and give the name. So Harsh Arena CLI. You can give any name you like. I give CLI, and then obviously resource group. So here resource group, you need to type like this, means just dash group, and obviously the name of the resource group, which is HVM, and after that location. So if your location would be the same or any other one, it's up to you. So I'm going to type East US 2. You can choose any other location you like. And obviously same command, SKU, because we are going to give, this is LRS. Instead of ZRS, we are going to give LRS here. So again, you can choose any other kind of bins, LRS, ZRS, GRS, and here it's kind, similar command, no change at all. So storage version 2. If this command is correct, but yeah, in what kind of output we can get information, it's in JSON format. So as soon as you press enter, if this command is correct and there's no issue at all, it will automatically create our storage account in a JSON format, and it can show you, as you can see, it start running. So I think everything is fine in this command. And don't worry guys, you can find out this command in description of this video, from where you can download the script and learn by your own in your own lab. So yeah, not difficult. Wow. It has been completed, so you can find out all those details where it has been created. And as you can see guys, Blob, so can you see Harsh Arena CLI? Similarly, we have created for PowerShell. So this is the unique name I would like to discuss with you during the creation of Azure Portal. So if you remember, I just choose Harsh Arena CLI. So it automatically recognized based on this name, although blob.core.windows.net is gonna be common for all kind of storage account. Only this name is gonna be unique. So that's why whenever you create a new storage account, just make sure you are following the unique name. So in case you like to see all sort of kind of storage account has been created under, I mean, this place or this account. So just type account and then list. This is the command where you can find out all kind of or all the storage account has been created under Microsoft Azure. So just press enter and it can show you all the list of all sort of storage account available. So let me try to see if we can find out any one which has not been created yet. So let me just go up. Yeah, this is the automatically created for our Cloud Shell. So let me just go a little bit up. Maybe we have another one very soon. Let's go up. So the another one we have is, yeah, as you can see, Harsh Arena PowerShell. So we have created this within, from PowerShell, and you can find out, but it's in JSON format. So that's all you have to manage. Otherwise, you can type the same command. If you remember, if you are confused, so just type get Azure Storage account. When you type, it can show you all of the storage accounts available with the SKU names, standard LRS, standard ZRS, and everything. So not at all a difficult thing, right? So guys, this is pretty easy, and that to be all I would like to share with you. And I hope you find this video quite helpful and informative. And guys, good news is I got a job, and I'm going to start my job from 14th of June. So if you can find a little bit delay from my side, please don't mind, but I will try to work during the weekends for you. I mean 24/7 because my work also in the night time, so I might be quite busy, sleeping during the daytime. So you can understand, but don't worry. I know you are with me and you understand my work part as well. So thank you so much guys for supporting me till date. And don't worry, I will complete these all trainings one by one. And just to tell you, our Azure storage been completed 75%, only 25% is remaining, which is going to be complete very, very soon. So stay tuned, and more videos are coming and on their way, because next video I'm going to create maybe, this completely depends on my mood, maybe AZ900, maybe AZ104. So stay tuned guys once again. And before I leave, please take care of your health, and if possible, make distance. And when you go outside, and just make sure you do not go into, into where the so many people are there. And guys, I'm coming to Bangalore. And yeah, just this is the information. So people who is already in the Bangalore, we can meet after lockdown is open and situations will get better. Not now, not immediately. And if you want, I can also share my home address in case you want to say hello to me. Most welcome. And for others, don't worry, I will definitely come to your city and we can have a cup of coffee. I already promised you, and I will I will keep my promises all the time. So guys, thank you so much. We have trash talk a lot. So thank you once again. Please take care. Have a good time. God bless. Peace. I will see you in the next video.